Hello Aries, thank you for tuning into your relationship read. For the main read, I'm using the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis, illustrated by Scott Murphy. For the supportive oracle cards, the Magical Unicorn cards by Doreen Virtue, PhD. No, that's not the cards I used. I think I was wrong in the Sagittarius video, because I think I said I used those in the Sagittarius. I actually used, Angel Answer Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Oops, hopefully I remember to fix that, or I put some type of comment in there. Oh. Alright, 6 for you, 6 for them. We're going to do the relationship first, and then we'll do the single Aries second. What is going on with your partner? Now, I'm getting your partner seems to be all upset about something, which is interesting. The only reason I'm catching up with that is because the Seven of Swords seems to be buttoned in between where they stand and their spirituality. Something makes them think that something has gone a little awry. What part does this happen in? This part? Okay. Something seems to come out of the blue. Let's see. What seems to be keeping the situation where it is your partner seems to be holding some type of adversity from the past. That's what I'm getting from this card. You are King of Cups. You're all about the love. You're not seeing any problem here. This seems to be the catalyst for what causes the problem. Your partner's not over something from the past. Something seems to be bothering them. I don't feel like it's authentic to you. Is that correct? But you completely are oblivious. You just love your partner. I feel like you're just in love, and love is love. Love is great. No worries. Now, I feel like you're just kind of going along, doing your thing. You might have a couple things going on. I feel like you're doing these. I feel like these things that you're balancing are without your partner, getting some things done. Maybe you have some social things you're a part of that your partner isn't. Now, and your partner seems to be Two of Wands. It's tied to a couple things, and like listening to the talk of others. Listening to the talk of others and tied to a couple other things. You seem to be getting a bunch of other things done, just going around doing what you normally do. I don't feel like this is anything out of the ordinary for you. If that's hitting and you're involved with things socially, it's something you normally do anyway, which is another reason why you wouldn't see any problem here. You're just enjoying life, happy with your partner. I feel like there's talk from other sources, though. But, like, what is this other talk? I feel like other things are happening to other people, and certain people are getting, like, shocked about things that they find out about their partners, and your partner's just like, what do I not know about my partner? That seems kind of weird, but that seems like what I'm seeing here. I feel like talk from other people seems to be affecting your partner. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not even expecting there to be a problem, but your partner seems to be affected by what's happening to other people, thinking, what if that's happening in my life? What if I'm just not seeing what's actually happening? What if you're doing things that I don't know about? It seems like a little bit weird, and it might be something from their past where this has happened to them before with other people, or they've seen it happen before, and they're like starting to think, what if I get blindsided and something's really going on here? I feel like they're watching other people go through stuff, and they're having their own primal fear about it. All right, now, I feel like your partner's just kind of not saying much, but they seem to be watching. They're watching, and they're trying to understand if there's good or bad going on here. Are things as good as they seem? Is there actually something not going well? I don't feel like they're doing much different, but things are better than they seem at this part. I don't feel like you're seeing this happen. But they might get a little cold. And I feel like you might wonder, like, what is going on here? And you might think it's just a momentary thing. I'm getting between the two of these, the Hierophant and the Moon. You're the Moon, they're the Hierophant. The Hierophant they're very much somebody who's dedicated, but this Hierophant in this deck, which I see him most, He's the most popular card, I swear, that I've been pulling out, and it's probably because I really don't care for that card. I swear it's my least favorite card in the whole deck, because it seems to have like a devil feel to it. It's got the present with the whip, it's got the devil, and the green person, the green lady reminds me of a witch, kind of Wizard of Oz witch to me, which isn't bad, but just the way that these figures are, like, they're succumbing to the Hierophant's rule. They have to go by what the Hierophant says. They feel like if they don't do what they're told, they're going to get hit. If they do what they're told, they might get the present, but they're kind of begging for it at the same time. And then you got the moon on your side. See, so the Hierophant here, it feels like this person's trying to figure out what's actually happening. They don't want to let you in on what they're thinking because they want to know the truth, but they're afraid of being more accusing of something that's not really happening and causing more damage than good. They seem to be in this weird spot. That card is really strange because they're looking for the truth. They're definitely looking for the truth with this, and they're trying to like weed it out of you. The moon here tells me that you're not seeing it. I don't feel like you're seeing it, but you might be aware that something isn't right. They're acting weird. You feel like they're just acting weird, and you're just kind of like, what is up with this? I feel like it's just like you're just taking it like it's weird and you're not really understanding what the deal is. It's just really left field. I'm wondering if we're getting more information on this, but I'm not so far. That being said, you're just going along as normal. Like, this seems to be talking about the whole, like, from the moment you start to this point, you're just going along as normal, taking care of things as normal, treating your partner as you normally would. What is going on with this next part? You do have a card here that makes me wonder, which the cards I just gotta wait for it to tell what it wants to tell, because it doesn't seem to be ready to. But there's something going on with your partner. Like, this is when I first put these down. These two cards came up like this: Ten of Pentacles and Page of Pentacles. They seem to be kind of like askew a little bit, like. Somebody who's normally happy and very dedicated to a relationship, they're starting to wonder if things aren't what they actually seem. They're starting to really question if this relationship is as good as it seems, and maybe they should cut their losses and leave. I feel like there's a little bit of moon glow going. This is a little bit crazy. It feels like a little crazy. I'm sorry, but it does. It feels like they're getting rocked a little bit by what's going on with other people, and they're trying to see, like, you know, what do I need to do to protect myself? They're feeling this need. I'm getting more with this card, a need to protect themselves. They feel like they need to protect themselves and find out what's really happening. They don't want to be a fool. They're wondering if, you know, it just looks like it's a good relationship, but deep down there's actually things going on that they're just blind to. They're wondering if everything is going as well as planned as they think it was, or if there's been something going on the whole time. I don't feel like there's anything going on, though. But there's things going on around them. The other people were blindsided, people who maybe were close to them or friends to them that were blindsided, and they seem to be all caught up in it. And they're worried that it's happening in their own life. It's just like going overboard with worry for no reason. Somehow somebody else's fear and upset has kind of bled onto them, and they seem to be taking it on as their own. If you're in a relationship with somebody who's very empathic, that could explain that a lot. If you're in a relationship with somebody that you know is empathic, and they seem to take on other people's emotion, and they just seem to run with it without realizing they're doing it, that definitely could be happening here, just so you're aware. So I feel like if that's the case, you're aware of your partner enough to know if that's something they do. And if they do that, they got to disconnect from that. They really, really do. Because it seems to be causing an issue. Clearly. Now, the Magician is what makes things better for them. I feel like they have to come forward, and this is the Magician coming forward, creating the situation, or like they have to like be on the level about what they're thinking about. I'm seeing this table mostly on the Magician's card, and that knife is sticking into it. Like they have to put it down and say, you know, this is what I'm seeing. This is what I think is happening. And they have to come forward and just face the situation as what they're seeing it. They also have the control to like knock it off. Let's do a couple Oracle cards, because I'm wondering what direction are they going with that. Because the magician can make things the way they want. They can color a situation the way they want. If there isn't a problem here, they can create a problem is the thing. So I'm wondering if we get some oracle cards here, if they can kind of clear that up of where we're going. Okay. For them, communicate clearly. They need to communicate with you. They need to tell you what they're thinking. It's not. You didn't do anything. That's the thing. I don't feel like you did anything. Something's going on around them that's really affecting them strongly. I feel like they're just taking on somebody else's emotions as if it was their own. Somebody that's close to them or they've been talking with is freaking out, and it seems like that person got them all worried about their own life. They're like, well, this happened to me and I never saw it happening. I bet you it's happening to you too. I feel like somebody got them riled up about something that's not even happening. Just got them going crazy about it. Now, the magician comes with the look for a sign. I feel like you're getting the point that, you're realizing there's a problem. And I feel like when they start showing you more of how they're feeling and it's becoming more apparent, I feel like when it says look for a sign, like this is your point to get the conversation going. You got the Four of Swords with the improving health. This is also in what makes things better. The Four of Swords, when I always see that person on there that's laying down, you'll notice he's grabbing his jaw. He, she. I think it's a he. Doesn't matter. Gender's not important. Whatever works for you. It's you either way. To me, it's somebody who's trying to keep their mouth shut. They're trying to just absorb a situation. Like the ears, you can hear, but you're trying not to speak too much. And you're trying to understand what's happening. I feel like it's all about figuring out what happened. What's going on? What are you thinking? Because I feel like it's aggravating. Because I feel like your first reaction is, really? You really think that's happening? Like, seriously? Where did that come from? But I feel like you're holding your tongue and you're not lashing back because you want to. You literally are trying to find out where it came from because you're like, is somebody saying stuff that's not true, or are you imagining things, or what is happening? Why are you feeling this way? What's going on? So this energy's on your side for the improving health because you have to understand what's going on. At the very least, you got to know where it came from. I feel like if you can get back and drill it back to realize it's happening to somebody else that they know and that they're just mirroring it in their own life, that person, I feel like somebody else got them riled up and kind of convinced them, I didn't see it happening either. It could happen just as easily to you. That type of thing. And that just got them in Nutsville. Nutsville. If you can get in there, and I feel like you're holding back, you can actually fix this. I feel like you can fix this. They have to communicate and give you the honest truth about where it's coming from, though. Because I feel like this can be a very strengthening thing for your relationship. Because I feel like you need to put in some other safeguards. Why don't you just start talking to me before you start freaking out? If you really think I'm that bad of a person, I don't know why you're bothering. But if you really, talk to me. I don't care if you show up at these events. Show up when you want. You're not going to find anything anyway. I'm just going to be doing what you expect me to be doing, having a good time like I always do. I'm not doing anything I'm not supposed to. So you want to show up, show up. I don't care. Knock your socks off. I feel like you're trying not to get offended at this point. I feel like you're trying not to. But I feel like it comes across a little bit, but it should. Because your partner's maybe I went a little overboard with that. But I feel like you're kind of pushing forward. You know what? If you want to check up on me, check up on me. I'm not doing anything anyway. I don't care. I'd love to see you anyway, so knock your socks off. I feel like you're pushing it forward. You know what? Before you go down this road again and start thinking things are happening that aren't happening, just, check up on me. Whatever. I don't care. You're not going to catch me doing anything anyway, so check up on me whenever you want. Anything else with that? I'm getting the last thing for the relationship thing. It seems to be strong here. I'm noticing, look at the sign card. If you look at that lightning strike, behind the upper part of that lightning strike, to me it looks like there's a dark figure behind this person. That might be the sign. Somebody's getting them riled up. I don't think this is fair because I feel like somebody's constantly pushing at your partner. Because like I feel like they're bitter about their own relationship and what happened in their own relationship, and they're trying to get somebody else upset too, so they have an ally and like somebody else who can also be angry about how life, handed them some sour lemons. I don't feel like this is fair. I feel like somebody is like constantly pushing at your partner, trying to make them believe something that's not really happening. So, knowing this going forward, I feel like somebody's like constantly pushing at them, and that might be the sign that you see that somebody's like constantly saying like, you don't know, what if so and so is doing this? You don't know, what if so and so is doing that? Like I feel like they're like, oh, did they come home late? Well, there's a sign. I didn't think it was either. Like I feel like weird things are happening constantly, and they just keep getting pushed at. So there might be somebody who's just a little bit more bitter about their own demise in their own relationship. And they're trying to get somebody else in the same boat just so they can have a friend to talk to about it who would understand. When it's not happening to your partner, nothing is really happening here like that. I just feel like it's unfair. I feel like your partner's being a little bit manipulated right there. Okay? All right. So that's Aries relationship. Let's do Aries single. I think when they start talking to you, you'll find out about what's going on. I feel like that darkness will come forward. And that darkness could just be that somebody's angry and just negative about relationships at the moment. Doesn't mean they're an actual negative, dark person, soul-wise. It just means that, that type of influence is there. So, I feel like you'll be able to understand it when you see it. Now, Aries singles. Let's do Aries singles. All right. Aries singles. Now, I'm noticing Aries singles has the moon going on here too, so kind of like with the Sagittarian feel, I feel like you have the same type of energy with your single people as you did with the relationship, which makes me wonder how that's going to play out if you're single, but we'll find out. And the look for a sign comes up again. Okay. Well, let's see what's going on here. Now, you got the world where you're standing, which makes me think that you're considering moving into a situation. No, that's not what we're saying with that. All right, so what are we saying with the world? You're looking to move on from something. I feel like this is kind of like a closure part of a previous situation. There's something around you that you don't really like, and you're looking to move on from it. You have the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups in your past, which makes me feel like I don't know if someone's coming at you. Someone was coming towards you, but you weren't really interested, or you weren't really sure if that was a good idea. It didn't seem like that was the right person for you. And just the way they were treating you, you just weren't comfortable with it for whatever reason. Somebody coming towards you, or somebody who's been in your life for a while, you've given it thought. The Two of Swords in this deck, especially with the two candles and the wolf in the background, makes me feel like you've been thinking about how things are really happening. What do you really want? How do you want to move forward? And this person does have their hands behind their backs back with the swords, but I feel like you're just taking your time making the decision you want to do. And that's where you've been for a while. But the overall energy is the Eight of Cups, which is moving on from a situation that's just not working for you. It's just not working for you. And I feel like that's what you're doing. I feel like you're putting things up. There may be something there, but you're deciding to move on from it. It's just like, especially with the moon feeling in this card, like in this card you can even see the moon there too at the top. Your final card is the moon card with communicate clearly. I feel like you're flat out telling somebody you're done. You're not interested, and you're taking the possibility off the table. Now, I'm seeing this in the center too, because like I feel like you're communicating this with the Page of Swords, and I see also the Seven of Wands here. Like, you're looking to move on. You're just not thinking this is going to work out. And I feel like it's becoming more of an annoyance the farther it goes. And I feel like you're trying to be kind of... I feel like you're giving a sharp, quick no. I feel like you're kind of giving like a sharp, quick, I don't want this. I don't know how you're saying it, but I don't know. Some of you might even be defriending somebody on Facebook. Like, you know, that should get the point across. Defriend. Moving on. Whatever it is you're doing, I feel like it's quick. It almost feels spontaneous. And you're thinking, that should be that. Now, if it's something, for example, like you defriend somebody on Facebook, just for argument's sake, I feel like you get a friend request from that person. As if, and they seem to treat it like it was a mistake. Like, oh, you did this. I know you didn't mean to. Could you just please re-add me as a friend? And you're just like, oh, for the love of Pete. At this point, it seems like you might take a moment to think about it, but it's up to you how you want to handle it. Clearly, it's the up to you card, but I feel like you might like just kind of ignore it. And part of you, like, for example, just for argument's sake, the Facebook thing, if you defriend, they send you a friend request as if you just accidentally did that. I feel like you're taking a moment here just to like step back, and you just like, I don't want to deal with it. So you kind of step away. I'm getting that with the Six of Wands. I feel like you're just kind of rising above it, and you don't want to be a part of it. And you just don't want to be. And I'm getting up to you, like, it's fine to do that. I don't feel like that's helping or hindering the situation. It's not changing anything. That being said, I still do have the moon at the end with the communicate clearly. I feel like if that comes back where, like, for again, the Facebook thing, they send you a friend request, you might ignore it for a while, but sooner or later you have to tell them. I don't want there to be any confusion. I don't want anything. I don't want to be in a relationship with you ever. I don't know if you're going to put it that way. It seems a bit harsh, but like I feel like you're putting it right out there. You're communicating quite clearly and quite to the point. You're just like, well, I just didn't want there to be any confusion because I'm moving on and I don't want there to be a relationship anymore. And I think we should just move on. I just need this to be done. And I feel like you might be coming across quite strongly with the moon card and the communicate clearly. Like, I feel like you're kind of in this position where you're like, you know what, I need you to understand. I don't want this lingering around. I don't want you being confused thinking I'm interested. I'm not interested. I just don't want that to be out there as if I am. And it does move on the situation. And the reason you're doing this is because your thoughts are with the Hanged Man. You're feeling like you can't move on from the situation unless you make that clear. And that's the whole reason you're doing this. That's why you're trying to make a blunt point in the beginning, and it seems like they just treat it as if you were having a moment, and you're like, you just ignore it, but then you're like, you come back around and you're like, no, I wanted you to realize I don't want to be with you. I've made my decision. I do not want to be with you. I feel like it might come across quite harsh the final time here, because you're looking to get rid of this card. You want the Hanged Man to stop. I almost feel like if you don't, or I almost feel like the reason you're pushing it through so strongly is because you feel like it's hard for you to move on, or this person seems to ask questions about what you're doing, and you're not into that anymore, and you just want to make it clear, don't ask me questions about my life because I don't want to be a part of your life, and by not wanting to be a part of your life, you're not going to be a part of my life, so stop asking me questions. And I feel like you're trying to solve this Hanged Man card. You don't want this to be in a weird limbo spot anymore. You just want it to be finished, and you're looking to end it so you can move into a new day, and that's what you're doing to make it to move into a new day. Did we talk about this? Yeah, see, I feel like we've already kind of talked about this. I just didn't show you the card. Three of Pentacles with the look for a sign. You're giving this person a sign that you're not interested. But with the Three of Pentacles there, they're just taking it as a moment, and they're just like, well, maybe I should just check, maybe, like they should be getting the point, because you're like, the Three of Pentacles is like, it's a learning card, in my opinion. and the sign is there, like you're giving them the hint. I don't feel like they want to believe it. The signs are all there for them. I feel like you're trying to, like, they're almost like, it's almost like they're trying to give you a chance to come back towards them. It almost feels like that, like they're trying to give you a chance to come back towards them. But you don't want that, and it seems to be why you're pushing them away. I'm getting that Three of Pentacles is like a tricky energy for this person, because it almost feels like they're trying to figure out a different way to make this work. They're learning, they're trying to figure it out. Like, what do I need to do to make this work out? They don't want to give up on you. They want you in their life, and they're trying different ways. You're giving them a sign that this is not going to work out. I don't feel like they're giving up, and that's why you're pushing back. Like, no, I'm really done. I don't want to do this. But the fact that they keep trying, and they keep trying to find different ways to make this work out, I feel like that's really what the Three of Pentacles is saying. They're trying to find a way for this to work out. It seems to be a lingering situation, which is creating this Hanged Man energy, which you're looking to end. You're looking to finish that off. You're just, I don't want any loose ends. I don't want any confusion, because it just seems to make me look bad. Forget it. If I'm going to look bad, let me at least be honest with you. I'm not interested at all. No. Okay. I feel like that's what we're summing this up with. It feels kind of aggressive at the end. But if it does get that way for you, if this hits for you and it does get that way at the end, it's because you're feeling like this person is not relenting and they're not catching on to you being nice about it. And I feel like there's a moment where you're fed up with it and you're aggravated. If it happens, you're in a state of aggravation if that happens. Okay. I'm going to wrap that up there. Thank you for watching. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.